Hey there, it's Boots Owen here. This is a Candy Grando GCC590NB and it's got all lights flashing. It's been on for about 5 or 10 minutes on a 30-minute cycle. It started off fine, no heat coming out of it. Let's open it and see. It's pretty cold in there, it's beeping away. I turn it off. If I turn it off there, it stops. So we've got all lights flashing. This has been, left out in the rain and it's been dusty. I suspect, just guessing about it, that means the element's gone. So I'll go around the back and take a look at the element, I think. So I've turned it around, plugged it out from the mains, and I've taken this little back panel off the back there, a couple of screws. More than a couple really. And what can we see here? We've got two sensors on top, a bit of fluff, but nothing major compared to some of the machines I've seen. They're probably both. That looks like a thermostat, and that looks like a thermal trip switch. This one looks like it can move up and down, so it looks like there's something going on there. So let's get a multimeter on it and see if we get continuity going through it. Okay, so I've got my multimeter just wedged in that cable there, and I've got it set up to test resistance or continuity. So that's working. Let's see if we've got something here. We've got an open circuit across there. And in here, that one's okay. It's current or resistance across that. So then there's a blue cable coming out with the orange sheath and a black cable, the one that goes to here. So if I try to bring the blue cable, all the while holding this so you can see it, try to bring the blue cable over to that black cable, we're getting some resistance on the element. So it doesn't look like it's the element actually, which is what I originally thought, but it looks like there's something going on with this little thing up here. There's nothing going across that, so the power, I presume, is coming red and black from the controller. There'll be a relay somewhere in the machine bringing power in the red and the black, and it goes through these two sensors and into the element, and there only appears to be two cables coming in, black and blue. Although where does that yellow one go? The yellow one also goes to the PCB. So if we're getting continuity across this one, then that's not the problem. But if we're not getting continuity across this one, then we're not going to heat up. So take these off. That seems to be an integral part of it, so I'm going to have to bend some tabs back and we'll have a look at that on the bench. Some little tabs on that there, although I wonder is it resettable? Doesn't look to be. So just looking at it, I think it's easier to disconnect the element completely. It's only held on with two screws. Let's see if I can loosen that out with my end cutting pliers, side cutting pliers. It's not the ideal tool for the job. It's not the ideal tool for the job, but it'll loosen it out. There we go. And so over here at the bench, this is what we've got. My fingers are filthy. Been working all day. Here's what it is. Let's have a look. 067E, T1206C, 5431, 006I. I've never seen one of these before, so I'm going to have to look and see what it is on the internet. But of course, what's not advisable is just to bypass this, and so that's what I'm going to try first, just to see if it'll get the machine going. Under supervision, of course. So in the interest of safety, I've put a bit of tape over the joint. I've just used a double-ended spade connector in there to bridge it together, and the other sensors in here. And this one's rated 175K, which I presume is Kelvin, but that wouldn't be right because that would be a different temperature altogether. So let's see if it works. I'll put the cover back on and we'll test it. So I've hot wired it basically. Let's see if it works. Put it on to 30 minutes. It's beeping. Press that and this light should come on and it should start working. Dry, yeah. So I'll leave it a few minutes and see if it gets warm or see if it starts beeping again. So it's been running for maybe 2 minutes and I've opened it up and it's definitely getting warm inside. So I would say that that's a success and this is the part, so I'll go and look it up and see if I can get a new one. So it turns out from the internet that these are a thing called a mini melt thermal link. And that's the product code, and then that's the temperature it goes at, and they're about £6 or £7 sterling online. I'm trying to get you a view in here, and if you can just see right inside there, use my I'll use my pointing pen. You can see just here and just in here, there's some little blobs of what look like solder, and I think what happens is that there's a spring-loaded plunger and a bead of solder on the end of it, and if the plate here gets hot, that plunger drops and then it breaks continuity, just like a thermal fuse. Non-resettable, so if this happens to your Candy and presumably your Hoover tumble dryer, that's you've got to go and get a new one, so that's what we'll do. So by the magic that is video, we're here with a new one. Can't remember which one's which now, let's have a look. So there was these little droplets, that's the old one. And the new one hasn't got those little droplets of solder or whatever it is. So this is the new one, it was about £6, £7, something like that. Let's see if I can break into the old one. Just see what's happened in there. So I've got little, this is an end cutting or side cutting pliers, but just use it to get enough grip on this aluminium, what I think is aluminium. Bend these tabs back and let's see what's going on in here. Okay, so that's the bit that gets hot. Then there's this little plunger. Yeah, it looks like something's melted there. It's a little ball of solder or something. And that little plunger then must go up and push something together or apart. Let's see if we can push it back together. Ooh. I think I'm going to need a continuity meter here. So you can see when I'm pushing that together, it is moving. So I've got the multimeter set to resistance, which will give us a continuity reading. Let's just hook these. Oh, I've lost the plunger. Let's just hook these together like that. Try and hold them in one hand. Put this plunger back in. And then using something else. Yeah, so something's happening there. There's a little spring-loaded plunger. When that gets hot, something like solder, some kind of metal melts and it drops the plunger down. So let's just check the new one before I put it in, because I can for continuity. Yeah, so something melts and it drops the plunger, breaks continuity, and it's non-resettable. And there's continuity there, which is excellent. So let's put this into the machine and that's the job done then. Right, new part is here. We've looked at that. Let's take this apart. It's obviously not live. I hope it's obvious. So here's the new part, and it went on like this. I don't think it has a top or a bottom. I think we're just going to need something like a screwdriver to peen it over. I can't remember which way it was, so looking at this one here, it's peened over into the center. So with a flat bladed screwdriver, just push it down. That's really all I'm going to do, and likewise from above. That's it. It's quite secure there, really. Put the tabs back on, and you know, that's the repair done. Screw the cowling back on and you're finished. What I'm going to do before I screw the cowling on is just give it a little wipe. So I've got a damp rag. There's a bit of kind of brown in here, I suppose you'd call it. Brown is about the only thing I could describe it as. Dust. Brown dust. Any dust in here isn't good, but tumble dryers are, you know, inherently safe. This thing went off, stopped it overheating. Why it would have overheated, I don't know. But I might get some use out of this machine. Just get off that little bit of dust there. There's nothing much to it. And of course let it dry out. Well, actually, I don't know. Don't know if it matters. These things are meant to have damp laundry air flowing through them the whole time. Don't know if it really makes any difference. Push that rubber grommet back in. I don't know why it was loose. And I'll do the same on the cowling before I put it back together. So likewise, I just gave it a clean out. This one was a bit grottier. You can see the scouring marks from a wire wool pad. It is what it is. There's a bit of the sponge there isn't quite right up on the top, so just held it in with my finger while I put it in place. That's it. Just line up the holes and screw it back together. I'll spare you that trouble. So that's it, it's all back together. I'm happy with that. There's not much more to it really. We've replaced that thermal fuse on it and it's all good. Any questions or comments, leave them below. I'll put a link to the parts and tools I used in the comments section. Thanks for watching. See you later.